Good morning, guys. Oh, I can't find anything I'm looking for today. There we go. So it's mixed ability. I'll give you those options as we go. Morning, Anna. Morning, Nikki. My little dream team. Are you both well? You are the early birds, and actually, Anna's normally not an early bird. Although she gets up early and does everything, because she's always rushing around, she's often late for class, aren't you, Anna? I always think I'm late if she's there before me. Okay. Oh, bless you. Are we okay? Right. Make sure you can see me okay that way. Does the music sound okay, guys? Is it too quiet, too loud? I do know you very well, Anna. Gosh, I must have known you probably 20 years. Did you see me pregnant with both my babies, Anna? It must be 20 years, I reckon. At least. Gosh. Makes me feel old. Just screwing my lamp in, it's come really loose from the base. There we go. Now it's got my footprint at the bottom of it. Okay, so work where you feel comfortable. Yes, yeah, I thought you did, Anna. Work where you feel comfortable, rest whenever you need to, get drinks whenever you need one. Those options will be given, so work with what feels comfortable. You've still got to challenge yourself a little bit, but make sure that you're still managing to keep your technique, the breathing is correct, everything's as it should be, okay? So we'll run through your mobility, your little bit of a warm-up, and then we will get moving into the main section. I remember to start my watch before I start. So funny last night. My husband thought he'd really annoy me. I seem to have been buzzing yesterday. By the time I went to bed, I was just like bouncing off the ceiling. I wasn't ready to go to sleep or anything. So my husband thought he'd annoy me, and he kept poking me and prodding me and trying to push me out of the bed. Well, I just laid there like an idiot and fought back a little bit. Next thing I know, he's falling out of the bed. So funny. And then, you know when you can't stop laughing, and you know more than anyone, and you know you shouldn't be laughing, but you can't help it. And then you stop laughing, and then all of a sudden you start again. That's what we were doing, and literally it made a change because our kids are going, can you shut up, can you shut up? So every night for the last year we've been going, kids, can you be quiet now, we need to go to sleep. And last night we were messing around and the kids were going, shut up mum, shut up. It's so funny. Anyway, let's do some work. Toes and knees point forwards. Shoulders down and relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central. Got an even distribution of body weight across both of your feet. You don't feel like you're leaning, you don't feel lopsided. So relax the shoulders, lengthen the body, finding that neutral spine, making sure the back feels comfortable, adding that natural lordotic curve. Finding and engaging those core muscles, so the pelvic floor, the muscle from within, the one you just stop mid-flow. Imagine that that muscle is attached to a lift, okay? You're going to pull it up from within to floor number 10. You're going to take it down to floor 5, down to floor 3, and leave it there. So you know you're drawing up, you can feel some mild tension, but it's not too uncomfortable, and hopefully you can maintain it. A belt around your middle, 10 notches to the belt. Pull it in as tight as you can to notch 10, out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. So again, we should feel some mild tension around the centre of the body, but not too uncomfortable. Hold it from the core and from the lumbar spine. We will then have to breathe from our rib cage. So it's lateral thoracic breathing, okay? Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. Breathe in. I haven't lost any weight, Mama. And release. I've actually put on weight. I wish I could say I'd lost weight. Maybe I've toned up a bit, but I am heavier than I used to be. Good. And release. Relax those arms down. So let's begin, just pedal through. Maybe it's because I've got dark colour clothes on today. Shoulders go one way and the other way. I'm not at the point yet where my clothes don't fit anymore, which is fine. Gently rotate the other way. Good, release. All the way up onto your toes and release. Lift up. It's the start of Lent today. So this is where I give up everything naughty. Good, and release except for alcohol. Lift up and release. Good. Take a nice lunge forward on that left leg. Lengthen the back leg, flatten your front foot. Oh my goodness, who done legs, bums and tums yesterday? Lengthen that back leg, flatten that front foot. Now, if you're not coming all the way forwards, if you need to keep your head up, then just go into it from here so that your head stays up, yeah? So if you've got dodgy blood pressure, or maybe you're suffering from vertigo at the moment, then try and keep your head up. Last one on each leg for me, please. Good. And then from here, we're stepping out to the side, reach up and over, back in and out the other way. Good. Step out, reach up and over, back in and out the other way. Lengthen one leg, bend the other. Good. Last one here. And we're holding it in the middle. Allow those hips to rotate one way and the other way. Well done. From here, just bringing the arms up. Make sure the hips stay in place. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, rotate. Now lengthen the arm. So as you rotate, you're going to follow and look for the fingers. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. I've just noticed I've still got a little bit of red food colouring on one of my nails. And I've bathed, I've showered, I've washed up so much. I think if I've still got red food colouring on my finger, what's that food colouring done to my insides? Yes. Holding it in the middle, release. It's because my son wanted red velvet pancakes yesterday, so that's why I've got red food dye on my hand. Good. Toe point forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. Toe points forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. Again, toe forward, circle round, lift the knee, hold it here, ankle one way and the other. And place the foot down. Other leg comes forward, point the toe, circle round, lift the knee and balance. Toe forward, circle round, lift the knee and balance. Again, just rotate around as far as comfortable for you. Last one here, please. And then hold it up and rotate that ankle one way and the other. Lovely. Place the foot down. Standing towards the back of your mat. You're going to breathe in, tucking your chin to your chest. Breathe out, begin to gently roll down through the back. Soften those knees, allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, breathe in, breathe out, roll up. I've gone sockless today, and as I've rolled down, I've noticed my feet. I really need a pedicure. Breathe in, chin to the chest. I can't wait to be able to treat myself to some beauty treatments. Allow those arms to hang and relax. Good. Gently roll up through the back. As you reach the top, relax the shoulders. So we're going to roll down and come down this time. So, chin in, gently lower. At your lowest point, hands walk forwards. Good. Gently lowering down those knees, coming into box position. Breathe in, breathe out. Push one leg away, breathe in, draw it back in. So you're alternating from one leg to the other. We start by just pushing it out along the floor. That helps us to become aware of whether we're balanced, whether or not we're leaning over onto one side. You've got to keep your knees hips distance apart because they're your stabilizers. They're going to help you balance, okay? So, we're going to breathe out, lengthen, and then raise. Then breathe in, touch the toe down, and draw that leg back in. So when we lift, we're only lifting up in line with your body. So don't over lift, because if that leg comes up too high, your body is going to end up collapsing forwards. So we only lift as high as the bottom. So we're going to do one more on each side like that, and then we're going to add a change. So I'd like to breathe out, lengthen, extend, and then hold it up. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to take it out to the side, and then you're going to breathe in and bring it in. Breathe out, take it out. Breathe in, bring it in. Now, if your balance feels okay, you can extend the opposite arm out along the floor. This is all with the same leg, guys, okay? If your balance still feels okay, you can raise the opposite arm. And then your final option, arm and leg pull out and pull back in. Remember, the arm part of that is optional. Now, if you're struggling to even take the leg out and in, then just go with a down and up instead. Alright, so there's lots of options there if you need it. Breathe out, leg goes out. Breathe in, leg goes in. I keep catching my toe. Let me just move forward a little bit. Good. So we're making sure that we're not tilting the pelvis. And if that means we stay at a lower level, then so be it. You've got to have your technique in place, which means keeping that head in place, keeping that core engaged. You're going to do one more here. Then you're going to allow the leg, the arm to lower if you've got it up. All comes back to where it was. Breathe in, breathe out. Other leg comes up. Good. Breathe in. As you breathe out, take it out. As you breathe in, bring it in. Get the movement with the leg first. If you're happy that you're balanced, that this level is okay, then you're taking that opposite arm out along the floor. Next level, you're raising that opposite arm. And then your final option, arm and leg move out and in. You breathe out as the leg moves out. Breathe in as the leg comes back in, okay? Remember, the arm is optional, and if you're struggling with just the out and in on its own, just go down and up with that leg instead. Core muscles zipped up. Strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. It's okay to stay at low levels. Sometimes I'll just stay at a level 1 just because I can really feel it. At this precise moment, I can feel my obliques, they're tightened. My core is engaged, I can feel that. And every time my leg moves away, it tightens a little bit more to make sure I stay balanced, okay? I'm going to ask you for one more here. And then arm and leg come down. Bring it back in. Good. Elbows, forearms go down. Legs go away. Looking down between the wrists. Breathe in, draw up the pelvis, and hold. Just nice, full, deep breaths. We're going to add in your hip drop. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lower the hip to one side. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, lower the hip to the other side. Breathe in, come to the middle. So we're breathing out to lower, breathing in to return. Breathing out to lower, breathing in to return. Now if you want to go a little bit further, knees are off the floor, and you're working from there. Don't be tempted to look down at the body. Keep looking down at the floor so your neck stays in line with the rest of your spine. You're working through your waist, around the hip, the core, the lumbar spine. So everything is engaged and working together. Knees are down or up depending on the level you want to work at. I'm going to ask you please for one more to each side. And once you've completed those, you're going to gently lower all the way down. Now your forehead is going to come down to the floor, okay? Hands are in the small of the back, legs come together. Now you can do this one leg at a time if you prefer. This is our double leg kick. This is going to work through the back of the thigh and the bottom. So glutes and hamstrings, as well as your core. From here, I'd like you to pull your belly button up off your mat. Yeah? It's just engaging the core. It's not lifting the bottom up. You're just pulling the belly button up. Breathe in, point the toes, breathe out, lift the legs. Now your legs stay at this height. So every time we finish, you're coming back to here. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. You can do one leg at a time if you prefer. Good. Getting those heels to the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Belly button is drawn up. Core muscles are engaged. Point those toes away from the body. I've got a little bit of cramp. I've got a little bit of tightening in the back of my thigh. Good. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more, or 1 with each leg. And once you've completed those, you can allow those legs to carefully lower, release those arms, and lengthen all the way out. So you're going to point your fingers and point your toes, okay? Head is down. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one arm and the opposite leg. And alternate from one side to the other. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Belly button drawn up. Now you can do just the leg or just the arm on its own if you prefer, okay? Breathe out as you raise, in as you release. Breathe out as you raise, in as you release. So the head and shoulders stay down. So my head is slightly raised. You can have it slightly raised, but you've got to keep looking down so that your neck has still got that alignment. And I'm going to ask you please for 1 more on each side. Then you're going to slide those arms in, draw the pelvis up and back into leg pull. Level 1, knees down. Level 2, knees up. Pull up through the belly button, tighten the core. If you want level 3, you're going to come right up on the hands. Make sure your hands underneath your shoulders. We don't want the hands wide. They've got to be shoulders distance apart, chest distance apart. Good. from here you just breathe and hold. Don't hang the head. You've got to pull up through your belly button, strengthening right into the core. Make sure the body stays in a line. Level 1, knees down. Level 2, knees up. Level 3 on those hands. And it should feel like I'm pulling your belly button up towards the ceiling, yeah? Please make sure you get a drink at any time. My mouth goes so dry talking. I'm going to ask you please, excuse me, for 2 more breaths in this position. Once you've done your 2, you're going to gently release. You're going to turn onto your side and you're going to bend your legs, propping yourself up on your forearm and elbow. Now, I want your chest open, so that top shoulder goes back. This hand, you can have it lightly there for a bit of balance, or just take it away, all right? From here, draw your rib cage up. You are already working, okay? So very simply, this is level 1. All we're doing is drawing up the rib cage, we've tightened through the core, the obliques are working. If you want to go further, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift up. As you breathe in, lower down. Now, as we do this, we're lifting straight up, we're not rolling over, okay? That is our side bend rotation. We're just doing a side bend today. You could add the arm to that. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. If you want to go further, legs come out straight. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. So those options are there. Base level, just hold and breathe. Level 2, legs are bent, just that hip lift and lower. Add the arm for the next level, legs out straight after that. I'm going to ask you in your side bend for 2 more. Just breathe and hold if you prefer. Once you've done your 2, you're going to carefully allow yourself to lower and lengthen all the way out. Head rests down on the arm. Hips, knees, ankles are all stacked, one on top of the other. Hand is there for your balance, okay? You're looking straight ahead. Don't be tempted to look down to your feet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs up without rolling forwards or backwards. Hand is there or not. Good. So, these legs are raised, which means the obliques are already working. The core, the lumbar spine, they're working. Otherwise, you would be rolling forwards and backwards. So, you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to lift the top leg. As you breathe in, you're going to release. Top leg is going to come forward and then come back in. So our bottom leg is lifted, but it's staying still. We're breathing out to lift, in to lower. We're breathing out to kick, in to return. Point the toes away from the body. Hand is there for balance. If we don't need it, we can take it away. You might find when you first take that hand away that your movements have to become a little bit smaller to keep the control. That is absolutely fine. Technique is important here, because if you get the technique wrong, you may as well just be sat eating a bag of crisps. Don't go and get crisps. Oh, I've told you now and I, don't get crisps. Breathe out as you lift, in as you lower. So the exhale is taking the leg away from you. The inhale is bringing it back in. Now that bottom leg is lifted and still, which means that it is working the inner thigh. Otherwise that leg would drop to the floor. Yeah? I'm going to ask you please, if you need to take that leg down, of course you can. I'm going to ask you please for 1 more of each of those movements. Once you've completed those 2, keep those legs lifted, held and still. Good. Hand is there for balance or not. Could you just breathe in, and as you breathe out, see if you can lift those legs up another inch or 2. The obliques, the waist is engaged to allow those legs to come up and stay in place. Good. One more time, breathe in. As you breathe out, bring them up another inch. Good. My bottom leg is starting to shake. My body feels tired. And it's okay to allow yourself to rest. Good. Gently release those legs down. If you need to give that hip a little rub, please do. Or a big rub. Good. And then you're going to push yourself to sit. Sitting upright. Legs bent, feet down. Arms fully extended. My poor son, he's just started work on his dissertation work. And yesterday he spent most of the day online researching, watching videos and things like that for his course. He's woken up this morning, eyes are so puffy, bless him. And that's just literally, this wouldn't happen if he was at the uni, because it would be broken down more, but it's purely where you sat in front of a screen all day. Good, arms out straight. Breathe in, tilt. Breathe out, rotate, look for the hands. Breathe in, come back to the middle, and then breathe out and come up. So we're working with 2 breaths. Breathe in and tilt. Breathe out and rotate, so that's 1 breath. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, come up, that's the 2nd breath. We're keeping both sides of the bottom on the floor. Breathe in and tilt, the chin stays up off the chest. If your arms feel too heavy or tired, then just go without the arms, that's okay. Good. Always coming up into that lengthened upright position. So this is your oblique roll-up. As it suggests, you're working your obliques. That's your waist. You're also strengthening from your core and from your lumbar spine. If your lumbar spine isn't strong enough to go far, then just literally a small tilt is absolutely fine. That's going to help to strengthen that lower back. So even the smallest of movements counts. Breathe in, tilt. Breathe out, open. Breathe in, come to the middle. Breathe out, lift up. Let's do 1 more to each side. And once you've done those 2, you can release those arms. And you're going to carefully lower it all the way down onto your back and lengthen the legs out straight. Good. Legs are lengthened, shoulders are down relaxed, core muscles are drawn in. I'd like you to have those toes pulled away from your body. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just lift one leg 5 or 6 inches from the floor. Breathe in, pull the toes towards the body. Breathe out, point the toes away. Breathe in, pull it in. Breathe out, point it out. Try not to push down with those hands, okay? Now, if you are strong enough, you can have both legs lifted and working together. That is going to put more strain on your lower back. So if you have a lower back issue, just go with that one leg. So just pointing and flexing through the foot. I'm going to ask you for 1 more with this leg. Then you can allow it to lower. And then change legs. So raise it up, breathe in, it comes in. Breathe out, it lengthens. If you're doing a double leg option, carry on. Remember, don't push down with the hands. That will take the effort out of the core and put it into the hands instead. Good. Breathe in, pull it in. Breathe out, point it out. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. You can hear my dog moving around. He had the vets yesterday. They were absolutely amazed with him because he's 14. They just can't believe how well he's doing. Good. And then gently release. He'd lost 2 kilos since they last saw him, which they're kind of not worried about. Bend your legs, feet down. But he's also, we've known for a while that he struggles to get up the stairs, to jump onto the bed and things like that. He can't beg on his back legs anymore. So we knew that he got something wrong at the back end, but he's got like muscle wastage, but he's 14, so it's to be expected, I think. Sad, but expected. Shoulders down, relaxed, breathe in. Breathe out, lift one leg up into a right angle. Now you should be able to reach this knee with a softness to your elbow. Now level 1, you just stay here. Level 2, for level 2 today, we're lengthening the leg. We're holding it out, it's pointing away, it's diagonal, not upwards, yeah? So it's diagonal. Try and keep your knees in line with each other. If that is enough, stay with this. If you want to go further, breathe in, breathe out, raise up the upper body, palms face the floor, breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're pushing the hands down towards the floor. Core muscles are zipped up, pulled in. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. If you still want to go further, bring the other leg up into right angle. Now another option I'm going to give you, keeping the leg bent, you can have the upper body raised. So this is kind of like, this could be your level 2 if you don't want to take the leg out straight, yeah? Remember, it all starts here, so just stay with this if it is enough. Core muscles should be in place. Neutral spine is still in place. So you can touch those fingers together under the small of the back. Or the leg is lengthened, keep it in place. I'm going to ask you please, with this one leg, for 2 more breaths. Don't just drop everything after that. If you've got both legs lifted, the bent leg comes down. If you've got the upper body raised, lower it down. If your leg is extended, bring it back to bent. Allow that foot to lower down. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the other leg. Now don't assume that both sides of your body are going to be able to work at the same level, alright? Sometimes we are naturally stronger on one leg than the other. So we might find we lift this leg up and that's enough on its own. But if you want to go further, we're lengthening, diagonally out, knees parallel, toes pulled away. Deep, full breaths from the rib cage. Upper body could come up, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out and push down. Remember, you've got an option to keep the leg bent and have that little pulse. And another option here, raise up that other leg, maximum level here. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in. Strengthen through the core. Good. So I'm going to ask everybody please, at your level, whether you've stayed at level 1 or if you've progressed on, for 3 more breaths, every breath full and deep coming from the rib cage. Once you've completed your 3, if you've got both legs lifted, bent leg down, upper body down, leg comes back into right angle, place the foot down. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the leg. We're going to bring the arms up, fingers point to the ceiling, okay? And you've got wrist, elbow, shoulder in line. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lengthen the leg out and pull the arms over. Then breathe in, it all comes back in. Breathe out, pull away. Breathe in, come back in. So what we've got is a lengthening through the core, mobility through the shoulders, through the hip flexor. Breathe out, pull away. Breathe in, return in. You can just do the arms on their own. You can do just the leg on its own. Now while this leg is moving, your other knee must stay absolutely still. Imagine you've got a glass of water on that knee. We don't want to spill it. And we're allowing the leg to be pulled away by our toes. We're not dipping and scooping. We're just allowing it to lengthen and return. I'm going to ask you for one more with this leg. Then relax that leg down. Breathe in, breathe out. Other leg comes up. When you're ready, breathe in, breathe out. Lengthen, pull away. Breathe in to return. Breathing out to lengthen. Breathing in to return. Making sure that knee stays nice and still. Hips parallel, core muscles in place. That leg is always coming back to that right angled start position. Those arms pull over and back in. Breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in to return. Remember, we're working with deep, full breaths. So your movement should be slow and controlled. And I'm going to ask you, please, one leg stretch for 2 more breaths. Then you can allow the arms to lower, allow that leg to lower, and take a nice long body stretch if you'd like to. Good. Then when you are ready, transfer onto that other side. Prop yourself up. Forearm, elbow, and then elbow aligned with the shoulder. Hoist up the rib cage. Level 1. Open the chest. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you can come up. Breathe in, lower down. So you've just got that little lift and release. Literally, it's like the hip just wants to come down, kiss the mat, and then run away again. You can add an arm movement to that if you want to, really opening up through the rib cage as that arm comes over. And then if you want to go further, legs are out straight. Breathe in as you release, out as you raise. We're making sure all the time that that rib cage stays drawn up. I'm going to ask you, please, in your side bend for 2 more repetitions. Once you've completed those 2, you're gently lowering and lengthening all the way out. Head comes down on the arm. Lengthen the body. Point the fingers, point the toes. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise those legs. Those legs have stayed in line with the body. Bottom leg is going to stay lifted but still. Okay? Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the top leg. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, kick the top leg. Breathe in, release. So we're breathing out as we move the leg away from our body. And we're breathing in as we bring the leg back into our body. Keeping both legs lengthened, toes pulled away. Hand is there for balance. If we don't need it, we can take it away. Now, if one of these movements is uncomfortable for any reason, just do the one that's okay. That bottom leg remains lifted and still. Toes pulled away. If you notice, when I've got my hand there, my kick forwards, my range of movement is greater. Take my hand away, all of a sudden that movement becomes smaller. Because if I want it to go further, I'm going to compromise my posture, and I don't want to do that. So all the time you're listening to what's happening with your body. So I'm going to ask you, please, for one more of each movement. Once you've completed those 2, you can release those legs all the way down. If you need to, give that hip a little bit of a rub. Good. And then from here, we're coming round into box position. So we're getting ready to come back to where we started in that standing position. We're just going to push back, sit in our heels and leave our arms out. So child's pose. Only go as far as comfortable for you. It's going to give you a nice stretch around the shoulders, but also through those glutes. Good. And you're bringing your hands back in towards those knees. You're going to curl the toes under, push back into a crouched position. Tuck the chin into the chest. Breathe in. As you breathe out, the feet go down flat and you gradually begin rolling all the way back up. Head and neck raised last. Shoulders down relaxed. So we're back in this nice lengthened central upright position. Making sure we feel balanced and centered. We're not lopsided or leaning. Making sure we keep this nice long posture in place as much of the day as you can remember, and also keep those core muscles in place. Lifting up onto the toes, testing that balance, and release. It's better for me on the floor because that mat is a little bit foamy, doesn't give me enough support to balance. You're going to take 1 foot away, balance, and then just see if you can close your eyes and still maintain that balance. Place the foot down. Coming onto that other leg. Close your eyes and balance. That may be easier said than done if you've got a pet that's trying to get your attention. Good. And release. By a pet, I mean your children or your husband. Shoulders down, relax. So that's that for your Pilates today, guys. Well done. Hopefully you've enjoyed that and you feel the benefit of it. Pilates is one of those exercise classes that's really underestimated. You really can feel it and work quite hard if you really focus on that technique. And like I say, even if you're staying in that level 1 throughout. So well done for that. We are back at 12 with family conditioning. This is normally our low impact conditioning session, but we've made it family friendly, so if you do want your kids to join in with that one, you can. It'll still be a combination of different exercises. You are welcome, Mum. So you can work at a level that's comfortable for you. And then 4 o'clock, we're back with the high intensity interval training, your HIIT session. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, is aerobics. Well done, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.